All right, good morning, guys. This should be video number 11. You guys should just finish with your do now. In your own words, explain how someone might go about conducting a psychological study and acquiring reliable information. So it's a very broad question. So based on everything we've talked about so far, all your knowledge, all your notes, all the information we've covered, how would somebody go about conducting a psychological study? So first off, it all starts with essentially a question. Why is this? How does this happen? And so you ask the question, and then you start trying to come up with ways you can find the answer. So whether it be from talking to somebody directly, doing surveys, doing interviews, case studies, getting information, and not only talking with people, but asking the right questions. So if my goal is to figure out, why are some people, why are runners eat pizza more often than non-runners? Well, I'd have to go often one, find runners, people who run, and then people who don't run. Then ask them about their diet and things like that. That's how I go about getting that information. And once I have all that information, then I can start drawing conclusions. 8 out of 10 people that were asked this question said this, therefore this must be true. Or only 2 out of 8 people said no to this, therefore this might be true. Or this supports this conclusion. And then recording everything and making sure everything is as accurate as possible. Really down and dirty example. So make sure you have 4 sentences, make sure you get it turned in, and then start going over what's going to be our last culminating project before the final. So just kind of stay with me. I'm going to read this off and go into some detail and explanation. So students will be starting the process of conducting their own psychological research here at school. You'll be given a list of various topics to choose from. These topics may be slightly modified or altered if the student wishes, but they need to stick to the same general idea so that there is no confusion later. Today, you are going to choose one of these topics to conduct research on and develop your own opinion on it as well as your reasoning for selecting it. So, I'm going to take a step back. So, you guys are going to be conducting your own psychological research over the course of the next 7 days or so, 7 or 8 days. What that means is you're going to take everything you've learned in this class, all the information, all your knowledge, all your notes, everything you've picked up, and you're going to try to put it into practice. You are going to step into the shoes of a psychological researcher for the next 7 or 8 days. So, taking everything we've learned, and you're going to try to put it to practical use. You're going to try to put it into practice. So, attached to this lesson, you guys, I should have left a list of various topics for you guys to choose from. And some of them may seem silly or obscure, and if there's one that maybe you don't quite like enough, but maybe you come up with a way to modify it to make it a little bit more interesting or appealing to you, that's fine. However, they still need to follow the same general question and answer categories. And so, just give you guys a couple of examples that I pulled from the list. Somebody might be trying to find out, how do people associate color with different types of emotions and why? So, for example, if I say, okay, what kind of emotions do you come to mind when you think of the color red? Oh, some people might think of anger, passion, heart, whatever. Oh, I associate the color blue with calm, with collected, coolness, things like that. Another example question: does a person's diet affect their dreams? So, does a person what they eat throughout the day, what they eat throughout the week, does it affect how they sleep? Does it affect how they dream? So a way about going about this one, obviously you'd have to go find a few people and ask them, hey, do you dream, first of all? And then start asking, what's their diet like? What do they eat? Start gathering that information. Another example, does a person's height affect their favorite type of dessert? It's kind of an odd question, but hey, we're trying to see, hey, does one thing affect the other? Is there something to it, or is there no relationship at all? We're trying to figure out whether or not there is. And so, once again, you guys are using information from students here at school. We're not going to go beyond that, going home, asking people in the neighborhood, family members, that sort of thing. We're just trying to keep it as simple as possible. That way, our information is solely coming from Manual High School. Try to keep it as contained as possible. And so, your task for today and tomorrow, actually. This is going to be the first part of this entire project. So once you guys complete each section, you guys will turn it in, but at the end, you're still going to need all of these. So write neatly and make sure you can read it. So today and tomorrow, you'll be handwriting a one-page paper, just like one side of one page. And no, don't do that thing where you draw it super, super big, or you leave giant spaces. This is legit. We're trying to put everything together, so put some effort behind it. So, 3 things. It's got to introduce your topic and what it's about. So you're going to choose from this list, or if you need to slightly modify them, that's fine. You're going to choose your topic, and so you're going to introduce your topic and tell us what it's about. That's the first section that you're going to do on that page. Second, you're going to explain why you've chosen that topic. Oh, I picked this topic because I play sports, or I picked this topic because I love music, or whatever it may be. Number 3, brief explanation how you'll go about gathering information for the project. So yes, it's going to require a little bit of thought. So sit down for a minute, think about it. How can I figure out this question? How can I get information that will either help support or not support this conclusion? How can I get that information? What kind of questions can I ask? Do I need to do a survey? Do I need to sit down one-on-one with somebody and do a more in-depth conversation? How can I get the best information, and what do I want to do? So once again, introducing the topic and what it's about, explaining why you've chosen the topic, and 3, what kind of methods will you use to get the information that you want to get. So once again, 1-page paper, 3 little sections. Make sure it's neat. Make sure it's written nicely. Take your time. Do some thinking on it. And this is going to be due at the end of class tomorrow. So you're given 2 days to do this, so I expect 2 days worth of effort when I go through and read these, hopefully in the near future. So take your time. Do your best. If you have any questions about this, shoot me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow.